A cold snap hits, the air sinks to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and suddenly, iguanas are raining from the canopy, rigid and apparently lifeless, but not actually dead. But first, subscribing increases your odds of understanding this video. Not by much. So it's early January 2018, South Florida, and people are waking up to something they've never had to deal with before. Actual cold. We're talking temperatures between 30 and 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which for Florida is basically the apocalypse. People are bundling up like they're trekking across the tundra, pulling out jackets they haven't worn since 2003, and generally losing their minds. But humans aren't the only ones freaking out, because as the sun comes up and folks start heading outside, they notice something deeply, deeply weird. There are iguanas everywhere, on the ground, totally stiff, not moving, just lying there like someone hit pause on reality. Now, if you're not from Florida, you might not know that green iguanas are all over the place down there. They're invasive, they're huge, they can mess up your property, and they've been a nuisance for years. But you get used to seeing them chilling in trees, hanging out on fences, doing iguana things. What you do not expect is to walk outside and find them scattered across your lawn like some kind of reptile massacre. And it gets weirder, because these iguanas aren't just on the ground, they're falling from trees. Mid-morning, you're sipping your coffee, minding your business, and thud! A 3-foot iguana drops out of the sky and lands next to your car. Then another one. Then another. It's raining iguanas, actual iguanas falling from above like the world's worst hailstorm. People in West Palm Beach start snapping photos and posting them all over social media because of course they do. This is Florida, where every bizarre thing that happens gets documented within seconds. And the pictures are wild. Iguanas on sidewalks, iguanas in pools, iguanas just frozen mid-climb on tree branches like someone cast a spell on them. Everyone's thinking the same thing. These things are dead. Has to be. They're not moving, they're cold to the touch, they look like lawn ornaments. Except here's the kicker, they're not dead, not even close. Turns out, green iguanas are cold-blooded, which means they can't regulate their own body temperature. When it drops to around 40 degrees, their blood flow slows way down, and they basically shut off. They go into this stunned, immobile state where they can't move, can't react, can't do anything. They're still alive, just completely locked up. And if they happen to be chilling in a tree when this happens, well, gravity takes over. Down they go. So all these Floridians are staring at what looks like a reptile graveyard, but really, it's just a bunch of iguanas taking an involuntary nap. They're fine. Probably not thrilled about the situation, but fine. Now, you'd think people would just leave them alone and let nature sort it out, but no. Because humans see something that looks helpless and immediately want to rescue it. Folks start scooping up these stiff iguanas and bringing them inside to warm up, which sounds nice until you realize what happens next. Sarah Lessard, spokeswoman for the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, has to get on the record and tell people to knock it off. Do not bring the iguanas indoors. Why? Because when they warm up, they wake up. And when they wake up, they have no idea where they are or why some stranger is hovering over them. So they do what any confused defensive reptile would do. They freak out. They bite. They whip their tails. They turn your living room into a scene from Jurassic Park. Suddenly, your good deed turns into a situation where you're dodging a fully alert, highly annoyed iguana that's now loose in your house. Not ideal. Lessard also mentions that this whole thing makes it tough to figure out how many iguanas actually died versus how many just took a cold nap. You can't exactly do a head count when half of them look dead but aren't, and the other half might actually be dead. And there's no easy way to tell the difference without waiting around to see if they start moving again. It's a logistical nightmare. And this isn't even the first time it's happened. Back in 2010, Florida had a similar cold spell, and the same thing went down. Iguanas everywhere, people panicking, officials telling everyone to chill out and let the lizards do their thing. You'd think folks would remember, but apparently iguana rain is one of those things you have to experience fresh every time. So the cold snap passes, the temperatures creep back up, and slowly but surely, the iguanas start waking up. They blink, they wiggle, they climb back into the trees like nothing happened. The ones that actually died stay dead, obviously, but the rest just shake it off and get back to being invasive pests. And Floridians are left with this absolutely unhinged memory of the time the sky dropped iguanas on them, a reminder that even in a state famous for weird news, nature can still throw a curveball nobody saw coming. The whole thing is a perfect storm of biology, climate, and human overreaction. Cold-blooded animals plus sudden cold equals temporary shutdown. Trees plus shutdown equals falling reptiles. Falling reptiles plus confused humans equals chaos. It's not complicated, but it's definitely bizarre. And the best part, it'll probably happen again the next time Florida dips below 40, because iguanas don't learn, and neither do we. So here's the question. If you walked outside and found a stiff iguana on your lawn, would you leave it alone like officials said, bring it inside to warm up and risk the chaos, or just assume it's dead and carry on with your day? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay unhinged.